of how do I say it? They have to understand that. I mean, all of us have done something kind of weird, right? I didn't mean because I think there's a couple of videos I might have forgotten to return as well. So I think that that's not good, right? So there you go. Okay, if you're just joining us, we appreciate you in social media. Again, we've got lots of stories coming up. Justin Baldoni is going to be joining us, talking about his latest book, and super excited about this. Really great guy and great family man as well. And we'll be talking to him on his latest. It's a very interesting subject on which some people don't even really think about, but I think it's good to consider. You want to be a man, right? Man enough. Undefining my masculinity by Justin Baldoni. And Justin has, of course, done a lot of great stuff as well. He's an author and change maker, best known for his starring role on the CW hit series Jane the Virgin, also director of 2019's box office hit 5 Feet Apart, which went on to become CBS Film's third highest grossing film of all time, and also 2020's critically praised Disney Plus feature film Clouds. He's going to be joining us just around the corner, and we'll be talking a little bit about, what it means. I mean, granted, he's an actor, director, producer, and entrepreneur, but as a creator of many different things, including My Last Days by CW's documentary series, which was told by courageous people living with the terminal illness. He dives into what is traditional masculinity, and we'll be talking about that and why that was important for him to write and talk about around the corner. So I'm excited about that because sometimes people think being masculine is, well, it's different things to different people. If you had to define masculinity, Jesse, what would you define it as?
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, the picture I have in my head is just suck it up and get it over with.
Okay.
So that's probably not the best idea, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: when people say masculinity, I usually ask them why they use that word, because I don't need to use that word to know I'm a man. You know what I mean? But according to this, it's the dictionary on when I search it, masculinity are qualities or attributes regarded as characteristic of men. Yeah, so it's like handsome, muscled, and driven. He's a prime example of masculinity. So if you think of the opposite of masculinity, people think, okay, non-masculine, right? He's kind of non-masculine, and whatever words came to your head, that's what you think of it as. Such. Some similar words are manliness, vigor, strength, virility. But that picked up in the actually, we didn't pick up in the 50s. It suddenly picked up in the, according to Oxford Languages, like in, it's interesting. They know when the word picked up in popularity. It really picked up in the mid 80s. So be masculine, show your masculinity. I don't know what that means, but be more human-ish of a man. I don't really know. But I know for ladies it's a little different because they'll go, oh, blah, 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 like, he's masculine. So, sometimes it just means different things to different people. But we're going to find out why that is so important in this book to Justin Baldoni and others, and especially to the men, because oftentimes I find that those that really redefine it go, you know what, it really doesn't matter what's on the outside, it's on the inside. Sometimes people get told, by their fathers, for example, be a man, don't cry, right? And so you think automatically any type of feeling of hurt is not being a man. There's certain do's and do nots from certain head figures that say that's being masculine, that's not being masculine. But what does a woman view as masculine? I would say a lot of women that have faithful partners and or men that actually are there wanting to make it work for their kids are really, in general terms, just masculine enough, right? So they may not say it, but it is what it is. So are they a man? Yeah, you're more of a man than a douche man, which walks away and or worse, causes harm to your kids, to your family, abuses, mistreats, does anything opposite of it. Just doesn't make sense. It doesn't roll with what a real masculine man is, right? A masculine man should want to take care of his family and be good for his family, and of course, keep them alive through like thick and thin. If there was like a lion ready to pounce on the family, what would the masculine man do? You would hope.
Yeah, you would hope that they would run towards the lion, but let's be real. What's the average chance that we're all just gonna
Okay,
run?
but let's put it this way: if you had you and your dog, right? Because it's hard for
You're correct. I would actually jump towards the dog and protect it.
and you'd run with it, like, let's get out of here. Although he'd probably run faster than you, so you'd be like, skedoodle out of here. I might be your best friend. See you in the next life. But or your niece. Let's see, or let's see, how many nieces and nephews do you got?
Let's see. I have one nephew, 2 nieces. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
if
right.
they were there with you, right?
Yeah, I would.
You
do
would
that.
all of a
I
sudden
would.
find the courage, right? You wouldn't think about yourself, is my point. And that is, to me, the type of person you are, because that you wouldn't think about yourself. I don't think. I think you'd actually try to pick one up and be like, okay, kids, like, and then right, or throw them out of harm's way and be like, fine. I can see you challenging the lion. Okay, all right, lion. Okay, getting away. If I got to go, this is the way I got to go, right? But if it's where you yourself, you'd be like, heck no, right?
Yeah, if it was being by myself, I would probably I'd be gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. Like, as much as I would joke around and saying I would run, blah blah blah. No, if I see something like that, I would actually jump in and help.
Yeah, because that's your heart. I've seen your heart. I mean, you'll do what it takes just to do the right thing. So that's Jesse. That's why I know the answer to that. Okay, we're gonna take a little bit of a break here. We're gonna come back with more right after these messages. Again, what does it mean to Justin Baldoni? Next, coming up around the corner. Stay tuned for more right after this.
When it comes to health and well-being, cellular hydration is the key. You could say that hydration is the key to every wellness program. And structured water in its natural state, is the key to cellular hydration. Most of the water available to us has been processed for purity, safety, and convenience. But processing causes water to lose its natural hexagonal structure, with unfortunate effects for our bodies. Now you can take your personal hydration to a whole new level with the glassware that restructures water in just 3 minutes. Golden Ratio Products brings you these amazing water bottles, carafes, and drinking glasses, which put the life back into the water you drink. Try it, and you'll be amazed at the effects you feel in your body. Go to goldenratioproducts.com for the next phase of your water consciousness.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Summer's almost here, and you know what that means. Sunny days and hot temperatures that make you want to stay inside. Franklin Mechanical Systems can repair or replace your air conditioning unit to get it working before the heat hits. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems is the one for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000 and get cool today.
Heart to Heart Counseling and Psychotherapy Center offers virtual sessions via Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, and by phone, specializing in addictions and creating satisfying sexual relationships. Heart to Heart Counseling can help you enjoy freedom from a codependent life and create a better future for yourself and family. Heart to Heart Counseling can also help you achieve a romantic, intimate lifestyle and inner peace. To contact Dr. Robert and Dr. Mitra, go to their programmer page on the KMET AM website. Heart to Heart Counseling is here for you.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. How are you celebrating your day? Today's national day is National Peace Rose Day, National Shrimp Scampi Day. Oh, my goodness. Give me some of that. National Zipper Day and or National Poem in Your Pocket Day. Which of these will you celebrate today? Jesse?
I don't think zippers get enough recognition. I'm not going to pick shrimp scampi. No shrimp for me, thank you.
Okay, all right. Zipper Day it is then for each and every one of you. Did you know National Zipper Day commemorates April 29th, 1913, when the patent for the modern zipper was issued. The day celebrates something we don't think about, may automatically take for granted. The first attempt at creating the zipper came from an inventor of the sewing machine. In 1851, Elias Howe received a patent for the automatic continuous clothing closure. However, Howe never marketed his invention, missed the recognition he may have received. 42 years later, Whitcomb Judson began selling the clasp locker, very similar to Elias Howe's patent. The device served as a more complicated hook and eye shoe fastener. Judson started the Universal Fastener Company, where he manufactured his new device and debuted it at the Chicago's World Fair in 1893. There he met with very little success, but because he put his invention before the public for sale, he earned credit as its creator. In 1906, the Universal Fastener Company hired Gideon Sundback, a Swedish-American electrical engineer. He was skilled, known for his devotion to the company. On April 29th, 1913, he was granted a patent for the modern zipper, known as the separable fastener. He submitted modifications to his invention in 1917. We wear designs similar to the one Sundback created in his patent. While he may have called them a separable fastener, we know them as zippers. By 1923, B.F. Goodrich popularized the word zipper as it applied to use in the boots and pouches it made. The company even copyrighted the name for a time. So there you go. There's so you know what? You never think of the zipper and all the different ways they went ahead and either A, claimed it as their own, and or B, popularized it, and or C, maybe, you never got the recognition you should have deserved because you got to learn how to patent things before you put them out there, right?
Right, most definitely. Because to be honest, I don't think we all realize just the little things that are in our life.
Yeah.
Like who?
Yeah, we don't. We just, you know it when it doesn't work, right? When the zipper breaks, you're like, stupid zipper. But I mean, zippers we rely on for everything, really, seriously. So pretty cool stuff. All right. So there's there. How do you observe it? Wear something with a zipper. Try sewing a zipper into an article of clothing. It's harder than it looks. Share photos using hashtag National Zipper Day to post on social media. And so there you go. Now you know what knowing is half the battle, G.I. Joe. Yes, that's right. Okay. Big shout out to Rosalie Huerta, who says, good morning. Good morning, Rosalie. Maria says, good morning, everyone. Stephanie Reed says, hello. Happy editing this glorious rainy day for today's awesome busy day ahead. And Cleveland, where she's from and watching from each and every day, has the NFL draft downtown Cleveland today. Awesome. How exciting is that for you? I'm sure you're very excited. Maria says, I still have a few old school SP1 games I forgot to return. We're talking about, imagine what's the worst thing you've ever done. I think I might have had library books a little too long. All right. Angela Araujo, tell us where you're tuning in from. She says, good morning. It's going to be hot today where she's from. Yikes. So there you go. And Maria says, massive thunderstorms here today and 72 out, but still an awesome day. She's from Canada, by the way. I love a good storm. Hearing the raindrops on the roof is soothing. That's what she's talking about. And there you go. And then Shannon Griffin says, taking care of their business and doing what you say you're going to do is to Shannon being masculine. Now, joining us right now is somebody who's written about the subject in his latest book. Yes, you can check it out. It's available right now. Man Enough, Undefining My Masculinity. Justin Baldoni, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, man. So nice to be here.
Yeah, Justin, obviously, look, you've got a lot of stuff kind of in your backyard. I don't know how you took the time to write this book. Having done as many shows as you've done and directing, producing, starring in, why was this book so important to you to make, and what was the thought of it? Did you seek out to do a book, and or was it just like, no, I need to write about this? And what does it mean, the masculinity part?
I've been thinking about this a long time, and really thinking about how, who I felt I was at my core tended to be at many times in my life very different than who the world told me I was supposed to be and how the world told me I was supposed to be feeling. And that resulted in a lot of inner conflict, a lot of sadness, a lot of unhappiness, a lot of saying things I don't mean, of hurting people that I love, of behavior that I didn't understand why I was participating in, or a lack of behavior even, being paralyzed in certain situations. When I got married and, my wife really held a mirror up to me, I was able to see a lot more of how this was happening and why it was happening. And as I started digging in and doing research, I recognized that this is actually more of an issue with masculinity. A lot of this stuff wasn't me. It was how I was socialized. And that socialization was causing me to live in conflict. Because who I was at my core was a very sensitive, emotional, compassionate, empathetic, boy and man. But I was also taught to drown those things out, that those things were less than. And so I did this TED Talk. There was a very strong reaction to it. And over the last couple of years, I've been working on this book. And really, to answer your other question, the majority of this book was written during the pandemic, between February and November.
Oh, nice.
And which was really hard because I was really struggling with trying to show up as a father and a husband, while also like digging in and like pouring my soul out into this thing. But I just knew it was so important, and we had to do it, and we had to talk about it because so many men are hurting and we don't even realize we are.
Well, and it's interesting what you said. Sometimes it does take a woman in our life to kind of hold up a mirror to us and say, hey, this isn't right. Or is this really what you want to be for the family and or your child? I gotta ask, and I've seen it work on the opposite way. I've seen some ladies as well do the opposite on the opposite side. During coronavirus, the coronavirus brought out a lot of raw emotions in between. But, I like how this says. It says Baldoni's book is written for the boy and man at critical stages in life, the 10-year-old, the 18-year-old, the 25-year-old, and so forth. Why is it so important because it all starts from somewhere, right?
We just got to go back. Words matter. And we got to think about how we have been socialized and kind of programmed as young boys. I mean, just think about this for a second. I started having memories of being told that I had to be mean to girls when I liked them. What does that mean? What are we teaching our boys, right? We're going to be mean to girls when we like them. Girls have cooties. I had a sign on my, in my bedroom when I was like 7 years old that said no girls allowed. Now, in my case, it was different because I crossed out girls and I said except for Nana, which was my grandma. But like in general, like we start to like form these things where we're disgusted by girls, where girls are less than. And these are things that are important to like think about, especially as we become parents, because we have to parent from a place of understanding, how we are socializing and raising our kids, and especially our boys to view the opposite sex, or even, boys that grow up, being in same-sex relationships, or, having different identities. How do we use our words, and how do we frame those conversations? And so, yeah, the boys that are 10, that are 15, that are 18, that are 20, 25, I really wrote this book for those versions of me because I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have somebody telling me these things and making me think about it and ask those questions. And it just comes down to us asking questions and challenging the system and saying, wait, this isn't working for me. I can be both, right? We see those commercials where like a girl can do both. I believe a man can do both. I believe a man can be both strong and sensitive.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that because I've seen it and I've had this conversation with certain ladies, and it's one thing, and we were talking about this earlier. You hear it a lot as growing up in certain circles, right? Don't cry. That's not being a man. Man up. And oftentimes, the men will do what they do, cry behind the scenes, right? Because it's not like, oh, these tear ducts or water ducts just work never, right? When you bottle up so much emotion, sometimes it finally pours out, and sometimes it could pour out in a really unwholesome way. Sometimes you could lash out, you could, worst case scenario, beat the person next to you. And you wonder, where does that emotion coming from? Where did it start from? So I got to ask, after the define, or the redefining of the word masculine? What does the redefining word, what should it mean? Or how do you come to terms with saying it does, because you're a man, you don't have to prove it, you're a man.
Yeah. I think it's about undefining, right? It's not about redefining. When I started this journey, I thought I wanted to redefine masculinity. And I realized early on that redefining it would just perpetuate the same problem, which is that so many men don't feel man enough as it is. So why the hell would we want to create a new box, a new definition that then would still leave other men out there to feel like they're not enough? In fact, we got to throw away the definition. It's the definition that's the problem.
There you go.
You have to undefine masculinity to make room for everybody who identifies as a man to be a man. Because guess what? There's a spectrum. So what are we saying? Like, you're in a wheelchair. You're a dude in a wheelchair, and just because you can't provide or do this, that means you're not a man. So you should spend your whole life feeling less than. No, there's no exception. If you are a man, if you identify as a man, if you move through the world as a man, then you should feel like a man. And also, we got to make room for the fact that real men, there's a spectrum of qualities. And someone has decided that there's masculine and feminine qualities. Well, let's forget about the definitions. Let's just say that exists and we'll never change it. Well, then we got to just make room for the fact that there's going to be a lot of men that also have feminine qualities, but that doesn't make them less than. If anything, it makes them more than. And there's going to be a lot of women that have masculine qualities. And that shouldn't make them not women. It shouldn't make them men. It just means that they're women. At the end of the day, these are human qualities.
Yeah.
And we have to embrace the fullness of our humanity.
Let me ask you, do you feel more like a man when you're there for your child and there for your wife and protecting them and giving them what they need?
I think the part of me that knows and that has been raised to feel like a man does. But I can say that I also feel like a man when I am sensitive and I am like overwhelmed with emotion and tears of joy come down and I am dancing with my wife in the kitchen, or I'm hugging my son and telling him how much I love him, or how sad I am that he's growing up so fast, but how proud I am. These are not mutually exclusive things, right? We got to remember that oftentimes what makes us feel like men are because we have been programmed at that young age to feel that way, right? It's like nature versus nurture. Is it really primal that protecting or providing makes me feel like a man? Is it? Or is that some of that learned behavior? And who cares? It doesn't matter what it is or what it isn't. What matters is that I should be able to feel like a man in a bunch of different areas, not just in the ways that society tells me that I need to.
Yeah, but when you express the love as a man and you do so in a caring, nurturing way, there's something about it that really draws A, the wife out, I'm sure, and B, your son's always going to think of you as forever dad. And that is what's being a man. Be the forever dad, right?
Showing up, being a dad, being open, being vulnerable, and letting him know that daddy also makes mistakes and daddy's human and it's okay to have feelings.
There you go. And unfortunately, we're running out of time. I'm so sorry, Justin, but thank you so much for spending time with us. I know you got a book tour and you're promoting this, but congratulations on undefining the word, being man enough, and undefining the masculinity word. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Man Enough. You can check it out. Undefining My Masculinity. They were very adamant he's got to be off by 8:35, so we got him off. Again, you can go check it out. Undefining My Masculinity. Man Enough. Yeah, just be man enough. And seriously, admit to your errors in life. Admit to your problems in life. We all have them. There's no sense in completely keeping them away from others, especially if it could be a good learning tool. All right, people, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At U-Theory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All U-Theory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness. 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. U-Theory.
Decades ago, scientists discovered why Greenland Eskimos maintain healthy hearts despite their high-fat diets. The high level of omega-3 oils in their seafood diet protected their hearts. Carlson Norwegian fish oil provides those important omega-3 oils. The same omega-3s from cold water fish support maximum brain power, immune strength, joint comfort, and our vision too. Carlson, the very finest fish oil, is a valuable source of the important omega-3s, EPA and DHA. Each teaspoon provides a full 1,600 milligrams of omega-3s. And its purity is guaranteed. Try it on salads and popcorn. It tastes like lemon, not fishy. As for Carlson, the very finest fish oil, at finer health food stores today.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. And joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn. Good subject. Definitely go check out his book. I think a lot of you are going to probably do that. I see somebody going to look at his TED Talk. Man Enough, Undefining My Masculinity. Again, Justin Baldoni here with us just a while ago. And again, glad to have him with us. Some of the social media comments. Let's see. Mario says, that is awesome. He's a great actor on Jane the Virgin. I watched 4 seasons on Netflix. I bet his book is well written. Just by hearing what he has to say, I'm going to watch his TED Talk about his book. Let's see. Then there's other comments here. Algenia says, my dad was so strong. Bodybuilding, martial art, nice looking, but mentally too strong. Then my uncle was a little softer and more loving outside the emotional box. Yes, show the real you. We're all human and be able to be a nurturing father. I like that. So there you go. And then Maria says, over the last 10 years, Justin has been on a journey to explore masculinity and reimagine what it means to be a man, what it means to be a human in the world today. He's spoken about his journey with masculinity in his wildly popular TED Talk in his digital series, Man Enough. Yeah. And Rosalie says, women need to read this book too. Read this too. My first husband was what I thought was weak. And then when I met my now hubby, he was brave and macho. Wow, was I confused on what makes a real man. Learned the hard way, that's for sure. But now I'm having to teach my 3 younger boys how to be loving towards girls. What a struggle when there is no example. Yeah. And then Genia says, keep the heart and mind healthy. Those are the humans I feed off. I am like, feed me emotionally and intelligently. Child, please feed me. I think she means our inner child. So there you go. Look, good comments from the ladies in the social media chat room again. But what did you think about that conversation, Jesse? What did it make you think?
Honestly, it made me think a lot, and just like I kind of like in my mind, I figured he was gonna go off as some kind of like macho dude and stuff like that. But no, I was actually quite surprised. And I actually might read the book because it's true. Because when I was growing up, on TV, movies, the men they just sucked it up, did what they did, and if you showed any emotion, they said, "Be a man, don't cry."
Yeah.
And it's just like, am I not supposed to have any emotion?
Right.
And it's just like, and you wonder why we have serial killers now.
Ooh.
But no, I joke.
No,
but
you don't joke, because that's true. There are some that when they show no emotion and or empathy, I think is what you're going for, they feel no remorse. That's a whole other ballgame. But yeah, go ahead.
And it's just like, there are times where, you know what, it's just like, I don't feel like, I guess what you would call a man, because they're like just energetic and just like, oh, macho, blah blah blah. But I'm not like that. And so it makes me think, just like, there are different ways of being a man and stuff like that. Just for me right now, it's stepping up when, even though it's hard,
Yeah.
just to go through it.
Yeah. It's difficult. It certainly is. So be careful out there. Again, remember, your family is what you got to put first. Don't ever do the opposite. Don't be that person that is a terrible human being and abuse your family and do the terrible things. Don't do that. Be good, be loving, and remember, put your family first. Okay, because I know people that abuse their kids sexually and or verbally. I mean, there are terrible, terrible things. And people sometimes don't even go to prison for it because they get off scot-free. Those are the type of people that they think they're masculine. They're jerks. They're dumb and they're stupid, right? I mean, wouldn't you agree if you found that out? Wouldn't you be like, you're a terrible human being?
If I found out
If
what?
somebody abused physically and or sexually their own kids and hid it for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't. I go to extreme on that. So abuse like that, physically and sexually, yeah, no. If a guy does that, or anyone,
Yeah.
they go straight to jail, or if that, just like locked in a box and never seen again.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree with that 100%. All right. So don't let those type of people in your life. And if you do find something out and your kids admit something to you, be okay to listen to your children and say what, and then automatically turn them into the facility of jail and testify against them in what way you can. Just get the there's a couple things and different ways to do it, but I've heard of adults which would admit. I remember there was this one girl I dated. It was a while back, and probably about close to 15 years ago, and she admitted that when she was, I think, as little as 6, she tried telling her mother, my father abuses me, but she didn't know how to say it, right? And then she tried at 8, and then she tried at 10, but she just didn't know how to say it. Because little kids don't know how to, right? And usually it's by intimidation, right? And she grew up in a very difficult position, having to kind of unwind that type of mentality. And I'm not sure he ever went to prison. She said, "Well, I had to forgive him." I'm like, you should still go to prison. Like, seriously, that's the type of person that doesn't do it to just you. Like, who does it to their own daughter? Is my point. It makes no sense. So. Again, I took it to the next level, but some of you I know have either been victims of that and or sometimes people say, no, I got to, look, and I get it. You don't want it to define you because it's a very traumatic thing, but the person's got to go to, there needs to be a form of punishment, period, end of story. If they're not being punished, then they got away scot-free. That's my view on it. That's what I'm sticking to. So there you go. I just know some cases that just the people got off literally through a technicality. So don't let that happen to you. All right. Let's see. In the other news, there's lots of it. Let's see. There's coronavirus is still around. That's the thing. Long Beach, though. Long Beach is having a program helping hopefully to break this cycle of homelessness, substance abuse, and minor crimes. Let's see. According to this, many factors are causing homelessness. Getting off the streets requires breaking the cycle of minor criminal offenses and frequent court dates tied to mental illness and substance abuse. I'm not going to lie. I actually met this man, okay? And I know I gave him my telephone number, and I drove him to Huntington Beach, actually, to help him out. But nice young man, about 32, I want to say. And he said, and I kid you not, twice he got locked up. And one time I said, well, why did you get locked up? And he says, I got locked up because I had a shopping cart with me. Yeah. He got locked up for having a shopping cart Jesse.
Wait. You lost me on that one. He just for having a shopping cart.
Yeah, because it was considered stolen. You know how many people have shopping carts that are rolling around? Yeah, so the officers picked him up, put him in prison, in jail, got him out, I guess, a couple of days later. He's trying to get out from under it, but they keep pushing him further and further and further and further and further and further down. Does that seem right, Jesse?
No, it does
No.
not at all.
No, especially for that minor thing. Has he caused any other problems to any other people, like raped and or pillaged or, caused other problems? No. Nice guy, had a conversation with him. And he showed me in one time, because I saw him at Vaughn's in Montebello, actually. And he showed me his ID one time because we were just chatting. I shared like some food with him and we were just, shooting it on the side. And then after, I asked him about his story. He's like, well, no, this is me. This is my ID. And I says, you need to call a family member that you feel you could go to. And he's like, yeah, it's not going to work. And I understand because I met his aunt. His aunt's very mean, by the way, not really nice at all. And because evidently she's tied to, I guess, a trust that he has. And so he has to go see her in Huntington Beach and then get his money once a month that he has limited from his father, who I guess died when he was like 14 or something. I can't remember entirely the entire story. And his mom died when I think he was like 6. And so he's got a tough road ahead of him, right? That's like a tough situation. But I guess, there's a certain amount of money left in his name, but I'm like, well, I think you have access to all of it if you're obviously over 18, so somebody wasn't like telling him the full truth. And my point is this, no matter how hard somebody has it, and literally that other person says, well, I have it hard too. I'm like, I wanted to say, you have a home to go to. This guy's living on the streets and he's trying to make ends meet. Like he's trying to barely live on very minimum of as like in a month, $1,000. That's it. That's all he had to his name. Does that make sense, Jesse?
No, it does not. So someone's trying to take his money?
Well, that's what I think, but I can't prove it. But my point is this. At the end of the day, he's getting locked up for stupid stuff and then getting pushed further down and down and down. So it's like, I just can't, I don't know. Like I can't get out from under it. I go, you just got to start making better choices. That's it. Start making good choices and think for yourself on how you can make it further. Cause he's a smart man. I mean, we were talking and I was like very intelligent, has a lot going for him, but you stop and listen to the people that are truly homeless and you listen to their stories and you'll find out there needs to be more than even this. But let me go into this. Javier says Javier knows that firsthand. He's been off the streets and sober for 30 days, thanks in part to the Priority Access Diversion Program at the Long Beach City's prosecutor's office. Many, according to Long Beach City prosecutor Doug Halbert, says many of the people that we are helping are suffering from addiction. They're suffering from mental illness. They're not necessarily hardened criminals, and the criminal justice system is not very well prepared to assist them. In expanding a pilot program that began in 2017, the city prosecutor's office now reviews all misdemeanor cases in Long Beach, like trespassing or vandalism. Good. Montebello, you need to get up with it. Montebello is being stupid about stuff. And I know because so I was talking to the guy, and a Montebello police officer came up, and I says, we're just talking, but he knows, the guy called him my name. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to take him home with me. Right. So I took the man, I says, get in the car. That way he couldn't be locked up for what? Loitering. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. Some places you don't want people around you. You don't know if they're pedophiles and or rapists, but guaranteed those are the majority of people going into the supermarket with you. So you get what I'm saying? Like, this guy was just, honestly, was he asking for a handout? Yeah, he needed some money. Okay. And I've seen others. I saw a family just 2 weeks ago, a family of 3 that needed food, took them shopping. I didn't have much, but I said, what do you need? And they're here from Europe actually, but they don't have very good English skills. Begging for money. And I said, don't beg here because they'll lock you up for begging and, or, call social services. Do you have a place to go with it? He's like, yeah, my uncle. And I says, okay. Got them food and they're like, thank you. So my point is this, there's a lot of people hurting right now. And if you have it in your power to do so, sometimes we don't. Sometimes I'm broke. I don't have any money. Sometimes it's just a good conversation and a little bit of here's some chocolate. But I'm curious as to see what is the situation with people right now And from what I found is people are on hard times, desperate times, and some of us are looking the other way, being okay in our place of business and or residence, forgetting that could be us in as little as 8 months if we don't turn around this economy. Seriously, just so you know. But there you go. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Top Line Industrial Supply, your destination for industrial tools and supplies. We make hoses while you wait, hydraulic, air, water, and custom brake lines. Take advantage of our large selection of fasteners from grade 5 to grade F911 and a full line of stainless steel bolts. Our no-cost outside shop service keeps you stocked at no extra charge. Come by one of our 2 convenient locations in Beaumont and Temecula and visit top-lineindustrial.com. At Top Line Industrial, we don't just sell products. We sell solutions.
Hello, listeners. Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, you know, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live audience there. And again, things you got to think about. I like this. Maria says, I always pay it forward and back when I see people in need. And you know, that's the way to do it. She says, I love sitting at the park with a pizza and some soft drinks and hear people's stories. I was one of them before, so I understand. Yeah. And some people don't want to admit to that. You know, I'll be honest, I haven't been that, but I often think if I were, what would I do? And sometimes I give certain, things, to them. And I remember him saying, yeah, I just need, he was going to get a hotel, rather a motel for the night, just be like, he just wanted to get off the streets because he had a little bit of money. So, but motel gets kind of expensive. So I said, shoot, go to a day spa and, you get there like $25 a whole, and then you're out by the morning, you get your shower and everything that you need. And just, so it's not that everybody lives on the streets. When they get some money, they do go and like, I just need a rest because, you have to sometimes get beat up by others. You defend yourself. He's a strong man though. He can hurt others technically, but, he used to be a bodybuilder or muscle builder, I remember. So he knows a lot about nutrition. I'm like, dude, start going back to that and start, training people in how to work out. So there you go. But so sometimes you just got to give a little bit of hope and remind those that have fallen on hard times that they're, sometimes some people are on hard times because of bad decision making. It's as little as that. And then you got to learn how to make good decision making, right? Some of it is drugs, right? Some of it is addiction to things that shouldn't be. Some things you need help. At the end of the day, you need to A, be willing to ask for help, and B, hopefully have the right people in your life that aren't mean, angry, or hostile towards you. Because I kind of like saw it when I helped him go get his own money, and I was like, came at me like a bat out of hell water, and she's almost like, who are you? And I was like, hey, I'm just trying to help him, get down here without, because I offered my help, and he called me, and I said, sure, I could take you. And we had a pleasant afternoon, had In-N-Out and had some good conversation, and what, he's another human being at the end of the day. I mean, granted, if he looked like, I mean, there are some that just look a little too far gone that I wouldn't trust or shake a stick at. I'm not saying to throw it to everybody, because I've heard of situations like that, but I had several conversations with this guy. When you just know people have a good heart, you just know. He was one of them, and there's a lot of them out there. There really are. He's not the first story, definitely not the last. All right, people, I appreciate you. Make it a good day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well and be good to one another, okay? We need more of that. Bye-bye. All right, for those of you tuning in, let's go to here. Let's see. Maria says, since COVID, I hadn't touched much money. Since March 15, 2020, I feel bad. I can't give them $5 or $10 always. Yeah, I get it. You got your kids to think about, right? And I think is it your grandma or your mom? So there you go. And then there's that. Let's see. Algenia says, exactly, that's what they do. Selfish ones overlook others in need. Yes, not realizing that could be with them one day overnight. I know a millionaire lost $50 million in 1 week in Dallas. Yeah. So there you go. And sometimes what you thought were millionaires are not millionaires right now. They're starting to feel the pinch as well, which I've seen a lot of people really angry as of late. What's going on out there? So don't be an angry person out there. Try better to be a better person for yourself. So here's one. Maria says, John Roberts from CNN, when he was just a local video jockey on TV, taught me to help myself. See that? So there you go. So, and that is good to share, right? And he probably never even said anything to you right after that, but it's always good to say, you know what, thank you, you really did help me. And because he probably needs that too. Everybody needs a little bit of a reminder of that. Sometimes you don't have sometimes and I've had ones come up to me that feel expected, and I go, nah. And then there's others you kind of feel them out, and then you have a conversation with them, and some are just willing to just talk and be heard. I've got several stories like that, but and what's the harm in just talking and saying, what is your story? Sometimes you can offer advice. There's sometimes you can't offer advice. And sometimes they just need to be heard, right? They are just as in other bodies somewhat. No, it's just, if things were to happen to us, would we hope that somebody would pay attention and maybe help us out? Yeah. If roles were reversed, would it be different? Yeah, absolutely. So don't be the person in the room that tries to, make them feel bad. And there you go. All right, people, I'm out of time. Make it a good one. Don't forget to go ahead and get the book, Man Enough, Undefining My Masculinity, Justin Baldoni. Again, go check that out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Bye-bye, everyone.